A velvet night settles over London, yet inside the palace a storm crackles behind every closed door. Somewhere in the labyrinth of corridors, a single grandfather clock strikes midnight, 12 solemn chimes that seem to announce a reckoning centuries in the making. By the 13th heartbeat, one truth is clear: the House of Windsor is about to gamble everything, loyalty, legacy, perhaps even the crown itself, on a clash of wills between a fading monarch and the sun poised to eclipse him. Picture the scene only a few hours earlier. A sealed envelope, unmarked save for Prince William's personal cipher, 3 calligraphed initials encircling the faint outline of a shooting star, travels hand to hand through staff antechambers until it rests on King Charles's desk. Courtiers disappear, guards step back. The king's fingers tremble before the seal even cracks. He senses this is no routine briefing. Inside, 26 pages of the most radical blueprint the monarchy has contemplated in 100 years, a manifesto of transparency, digital sovereignty, and a ruthlessly slimmed family tree. At the bottom, a note in William's crisp hand: "Forefathers' eyes only, to be discussed tonight before the city sleeps." Charles's valet swears later that he saw the sovereign pale, as if centuries of portraits tilted from the walls in judgment. For hours, candlelight flickered across penciled margins where the king scrawled questions, exclamation marks, one solitary tear stain. By dusk, the palace rumor mill roared: William's revolution, the Cambridge coup. Reporters camp outside the gates, their breath fogging in the chill, trading whispers that make even hardened paparazzi shiver. Meanwhile, 400 miles north, Balmoral's granite keep protects another secret. Archival staff, obeying a quiet order from William, have unearthed an unopened parcel marked Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales Private. Inside lies a cassette tape, Diana's voice, long hidden, recorded weeks before her fatal trip to Paris. In it, she speaks of her hopes for her sons: spare them the suffocating rituals. Show them the people's real struggles, and they will know how to lead. William listens in a firelit study, the tape is intertwining with the Highland wind. Resolve builds like steel beneath velvet. And across the Atlantic, as California's sun pours into Montecito, Prince Harry wakes to a barrage of encrypted texts from an unexpected number: Williams. Vic moves tonight. You deserve to hear first. For the first time in months, Harry hesitates before swiping away the notification. Out on the veranda, Meghan reads the same headlines William's team has quietly leaked: a plan to prune royal titles, redirect millions in duchy profits straight into mental health clinics, and most electrifying, create an independent oversight council that could, in theory, veto any royal commercial project deemed exploitative. No more quick cash memoir deals, no more ambiguous brand collaborations. Harry's jaw tightens. Is this William's overture, or a veiled strike? By 10 p.m., the palace war room fills, Charles, Camilla radiating poise, but gripping a rosary of pearls, the Archbishop of Canterbury summoned on 30 minutes' notice, the Prime Minister patched in via secure call, and William, tall, still, carrying a plain manila folder. Catherine is absent by design. She shepherds the children to bed, reading from The Lion, The Witch and the Wardrobe, her calm voice at odds with the rip tide she knows is rising below. William speaks first. He paints a future-proof monarchy, live-streamed charitable audits, automatic release of household greenhouse gas figures, TikTok town halls with teens from Brixton to Belfast, a code of ethics forbidding proximity monetization of royal ties. Titles dormant or inactive for public good shall lie fallow. Even the coronation oath, he proposes, must be updated to acknowledge mental health stewardship as a sacred duty. You could hear a diamond pin drop. Charles listens in silence, the glow from a single banker's lamp catching the silver in his hair. At last he asks, voice thick as winter honey, and the duchy? Under whose stewardship? William slides a USB drive across the mahogany. Algorithmic audits quarterly, open to journalists. Profits ring-fenced into climate resilience projects. Starting next fiscal. Camilla interjects, calm but steely. And family. Your plan reduces their role to footnotes. William meets her gaze. Family must be more than decorative. Service or silence, there can be dignity in either. Outside, thunder cracks, clear skies earlier, yet now the heavens stage their own commentary. Electric. Even as father and son square off, unseen forces whirl. A palace aide frantically calls MI5. Rumor of hacktivists poised to dump decades of royal emails if the reforms stall. In Westminster pubs, MPs wager bottles of scotch on whether Charles will abdicate within the year. In Montecito, Harry paces, torn between loyalty to his brother's bold overhaul and dread that oversight could muzzle his future projects. Finally, he video calls William. Two brothers' faces fill a phone screen, one lit by LA sunrise, the other shadowed by London's storm. There are no reporters to parse their expressions, no courtiers to edit their words. Help me fix it, William says simply. An exhale. Not yet forgiveness, but the faintest seam of possibility. Midnight approaches. The House of Commons security lights blaze. Journalists receive embargoed statements hinting at significant constitutional discourse. Twitter erupts as #Crown Reset trends worldwide. Barricades rattle around Buckingham Palace as curious onlookers gather in the rain, umbrellas like black petals. They are joined by protesters holding handmade signs, Monarchy 2.0. Children on parents' shoulders chant, "We love Wills." An elderly veteran salutes the facade, muttering, "Long overdue." Inside, the king clasps his son's hands, calloused from military days, tears on both men's cheeks. "Then we go forward together," Charles murmurs. But slowly, deliberately. William nods. There will be councils, stakeholder summits, perhaps a referendum clause. He accepts pace in exchange for principle. For now, father and heir have found a fragile accord. The next morning's front pages do not scream scandal, they whisper sunrise. The king and the future king, a vision shared reads the Times. Social media clips show William greeting drenched supporters at the gates, offering coffee from a thermos Catherine insisted he carry. One little girl asks, "Are you going to be a TikTok king?" William laughs, "Only if you teach me the dances." The clip goes viral in an hour. And in Windsor's private chapel that evening, Charles lights a candle before a small photograph of Diana, an unpublicized ritual, then sits alone, head bowed. Somewhere deeper in the castle, William listens once more to that cassette of his mother's voice. Spare them the suffocating rituals. He presses stop. The past has spoken. Now the future waits. So stay near, dear viewers. Every sunrise promises new revelations. Secret task forces mapping digital transparency. Harry's team drafting proposals for joint mental health ventures. Catherine preparing the first royal Instagram live with trauma nurses. The monarchy is learning, perhaps at last, that crown and conscience can share the same heartbeat. The next chapters will be written in code and compassion, contested in courts and on comment threads, illuminated by paparazzi flash and smartphone glow. We will be here for every breath-holding update, until the day Big Ben rings out, not for the end of an era, but for the shimmering start of something daringly, defiantly new. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. History hasn't been this riveting in decades, and together we will watch, wide-eyed, until the final curtain, whenever and wherever that falls.